What's going on, guys? My name is Bob14435, and welcome to the Amber Mines Prehistoric Kingdom Jurassic Park project. Throughout this series, we will be building a variety of buildings, locations, and attractions from every corner of the Jurassic Park franchise. This episode, we will be focusing on the Jurassic Park fences, and just the park-era fences from Isla Nublar. We're going to start with something simple, the small carnivore fence from the first movie. This fence is used in the first paddock we see on the tour, the Dilophosaurus weatherili. So judging by the size of the fence and the size of the animal, I think we can assume this is meant for the baby Dilophosaurus, which would explain why there are 3 paddocks in the park, one for babies, one for juveniles, and the largest for adults. And as they reach maturity, they're transported from paddock to paddock. This fence stands at 5 foot tall, it has no base, no grounding wire, and only one orange-colored light. And a very oddly shaped pole. The weird protrusion in the back of the fence makes no sense to me. You'd think it's to keep the dinosaurs from climbing out of the fence, but there are no wires, so it just looks like a weird design choice. Something I would like to point out, because no one realizes it for some reason, the wires used in the fence are not directly connected to the poles, but rather go through these loops in the back of the pole. The small carnivore fence was likely used to house the following dinosaurs on display in the park: baby Dilophosaurus weatherili, Stegosaurus holly, Herrerasaurus bradleyi, and Troodon pectinodon if it had stayed in the park. Compsognathus is not included on this list as it was a free-roaming scavenger dinosaur that ate trash that guests or dead animals would leave behind, and we'll get to that later on. Is the medium carnivore fence. We rarely see this fence in the franchise, and I think we only see it once in the movie and again in the Triceratops paddock and North Dock of Jurassic Park the game. But the TellTale game version doesn't seem to have a grounding wire. This fence is very similar to the large carnivore and perimeter fence, their only difference being the size. This fence is 12 foot tall, has a concrete base, steel bar pole, and an orange-blue light on top leading to a grounding wire connection. This fence was seen throughout the park, keeping in view a large assortment of species such as Herrerasaurus ischigualastensis, Metriacanthosaurus parkeri, Velociraptor enterhopus, and the adult Dilophosaurus weatherili. It was also used in the surroundings of the small carnivore paddocks and herbivore paddocks. The third and fourth fence on our list is the large carnivore and perimeter fence. We see this fence in the film surrounding the Tyrannosaurus paddock and the fence that Alan Grant and Lexington Murphy climbed to escape the park. Its design is incredibly similar to the medium carnivore fence, but is double the size at 24 feet. It is a concrete-based steel bar pole, orange-blue light on top leading to a grounding wire, but unlike the medium carnivore fence, it has another pole in the center of the fence to keep the electrical wires balanced. The perimeter fence is identical, but its wires are more intertwined, designed to keep a specific small carnivorous dinosaur from snacking on guests. The large carnivore fence was used to house the Baryonyx Valkyrie and the infamous Tyrannosaurus Rex. And the perimeter fence was used to surround all the paddocks in the park, but it turns out it was also used to surround the visitor center complex to keep guests safe from the free-roaming Compsognathus longites. The next fence is the light herbivore fence. This fence was seen in the first Jurassic Park in the Triceratops fence. It's incredibly hard to see, and most people miss it when they first watch the movie. At least I did. The design for this fence is very simple. A log pole with barbed wire keeping the dinosaurs in. It's not electrified, and I personally think it's a weird choice to house an animal that's twice the size of the bull. This fence was used in the Triceratops horridus paddock, but was also likely used in the Stegosaurus stenops and Gallimimus bellatus paddock. The next fence is the heavy herbivore fence. This fence is never actually seen in the movies, but is seen in concept art, and a similar fence can be found in Universal Studios' Islands of Adventure. This fence is significantly more complicated than the others. It is a concrete base, and the poles itself actually seem to be made out of concrete too. The fence also seems to be facing a weird direction. The small carnivore fence has a metal protrusion facing towards the enclosure, as if to keep the dinosaurs in. While this fence, the protrusion is facing away from the enclosure, and the wires are directly connected to the poles. Perhaps this is because the concept art was made early on in production for the first movie. This fence was used for sauropods, keeping in the Brachiosaurus bronchi. The next fences aren't seen in the first movie, but rather the fourth. These two fences are seen in Jurassic World as Zack and Gray are making their way back to Main Street. Their rusted appearance makes us think that they were used in the original park, though we're not 100% sure what use they had. The first fence is a large wooden pole connected by thin wires, very similar to the light herbivore fence except it has a mesh wire fence and a rectangular pole. The other fence is a steel pole fence. It is a diagonal grounding wire connection and a strange looking base that didn't look like it could keep anything smaller than a dog out. The use of these fences is very much unknown, and it doesn't help that we don't know its location. They are either coming from the north of Main Street, which should make these paddock fences as they were very close to the old park, maybe dinosaurs like Herrerasaurus or Stegosaurus, or they were coming from the west of Main Street, in which case we have no idea why these fences were there, unless my theory about the Iguanodon Inn housing actual Iguanodon Bernus artensis is true. The next fence is the fence that surrounded the Safari Lodges. The Safari Lodge is a neighborhood-style hotel suite with a variety of private inns and bungalows for guests to stay at in the park. The style of fence is just your standard black steel vertical fence that you can find in some fancy, rich, middle-class suburban neighborhoods. It's really nothing fancy, no unique style or design for Jurassic Park, though I do like to believe there are fossil designs etched into the metal poles like the doorway to the visitor center. Last but not least are the fences that surrounded Hammond's Lodge. We don't know much about what was here, although there might have been a greenhouse that stored ginger. These fences are electrical wooden fences, like the medium security fence was mixed with the light herbivore fence. The novel described them as 18-foot high telephone poles. There are many other fences that appear in the park era, but we'll get to those in later episodes as they are more attributed to individual buildings rather than their own fences. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on what other stuff you would like us to build in Prehistoric Kingdom.
Hey Ember Miners, thanks for watching today's video. Be sure to click the subscribe button on your way out and click the bell icon to be notified of our videos when we upload them. Consider leaving a like on this video so we know that you enjoyed it. Leave a comment about content that you would like to see come to this channel, and be sure to check the description for links to our Discord if you would like to talk to the team more directly. Check out our Patreon if you would like to help fund the team and its upcoming projects. Remember, this is a fan group reviewing the depths of our favorite franchise, and that we are in no way affiliated with the groups and companies that own them. Be sure to support Universal Studios and Amblin Entertainment. This has been an Amber Mine production. Thank you for mining with us.